All right, let's go ahead and start our yin class this evening. I am sitting up on, I'll show you, a pillow today. So instead of a blanket, I have a pillow. I don't know, I just decided to show you that you could use pillow instead of a blanket if you didn't have a nice, big, thick blanket. And the pillow is kind of thick as well, so you don't want a really soft pillow. And then I also have a bolster and a block for today's practice, so we may not need either one, but they're there in case we need them. So let's take a few moments and just sit in whatever comfortable position you find this evening. Just take a few deep breaths in and out just to settle in. So as we begin today's practice, we'll chant the sound of Om together, then we'll recite our intention and do a little breath work before our postures. So if you're comfortable, we'll bring our hands to our heart, relax our shoulders. Take a deep breath in together. May I be free from fear and harm. May I be content as I am. May I be at peace with whatever comes. Let's release our hands. I'm going to place my hands in my lap, my palms up, thumbs gently touching. And we usually try to breathe in and out through the nose, so mouth is gently closed. Just begin a nice long inhalation through the nose. We pause at the end of the inhalation, feeling the expansion of the breath. And then a nice long exhalation through the nose, feeling the contraction of the breath. This nice simple breath for the first minute here. So as you sit and breathe for another minute or so, I just want to bring up a concept in yoga called Ishvara Pranadhana. And basically it means your concept or your image of God. Now, in the Christian tradition, you may say God, or you may say non-denominationally spirit, energy, the divine. I'm just going to use the word divine for this practice today. Ishvara Pranadhana, your image of the divine. So I want you to think about that today. It's a very important concept in yoga. And it truly may be an image that you conjure up in your mind's eye when you think of the divine. You see a specific image. Maybe it's Mary, maybe it's Jesus, Joseph, maybe it's the cross. Or maybe it's actually an object that you revere, that you hold dear, and you can actually take that object and put that object in front of you. And every time you look at that, you have feelings of the divine, of holiness, of maybe a peace, completeness. This can be almost anything from jewelry to a rock to a candle to a stone to maybe a picture of someone that you really want to emulate, a Buddha, Ganesh, Krishna, your mother. It doesn't really matter. Whatever your Ishvara Pranadhana is your image of the divine. And I should say in yoga, it's pretty consistent. So in yoga, it doesn't change throughout our life. We usually have one consistent image of the divine that we have, that we hold dear. So maybe you're not thinking about it at this moment, nothing's coming to you. You can just take some more deep breaths and feel that energy in the heart center and focus your awareness there. But if you do have something that comes to mind, or if you've grabbed an object that can be close to you, let's take some really deep breaths, and with that image, just try to lose yourself in that image for just a few minutes here today. And take a few moments and hold that image in your heart center, maybe with you throughout your practice today. And when you're ready, just slowly open your eyes and bringing your awareness back into this room. And we'll bring our hands onto our knees and just start some gentle movements. I'm just going to make some circles with this upper body. I've been sitting all day, so just some gentle movements for our back. So as we're in yin today, I want you to make these movements nice and slow. Maybe a whole inhale breath for one complete circle, and then a whole exhale breath for the next complete circle. See how that feels to you. And if you haven't changed direction, change direction. And slowly work your way back to center. We'll start with a pretty passive posture today. So let's bring the soles of the feet together. So we're going to stay here a little longer in yin than we do in most yoga classes. So prop your knees up if you need to, maybe even taking a bolster and placing it here if it's more comfortable to bring yourself down. I'm also going to give you an option today that sometimes I forget about. So if you can go down pretty far, maybe the forearms come to the earth or come to your blocks. And that would give you a little bit more stretch for those of you who can today. So take a really nice deep breath in, pull that belly in, scoot that butt back. We'll start off with the throat drawing back so the neck stays neutral. Nice long spine from the tailbone through the crown of the head. And check in with your breath. Yoga is all about the breath. There is no yoga without the breath. And if you think you've gone as far as you can, maybe your forehead is resting on something or even on your feet, on a bolster. If it's not, you may want to tuck the chin in towards the chest and feel a little release in the back of the neck. So wherever you are, let the head be a little bit heavy and start to feel the effects of gravity in this pose. Maybe you can let the breath get slightly deeper. your time with a nice deep breath. Slowly push yourself up. And go ahead and let the legs stretch out in front of you for a few moments. That was a really long first pose. So if you need to rotate the ankles or release the hips a little bit. Now we're going to do the legs in an opposite position next. So you may feel a little bit better. For this one, I'm going to show you how to use the bolster. You don't have to. You can use a block if you'd rather. Or actually, you don't even need to use anything if you don't want to. So I'm going to do it from the side so I can show you. So you can bring your knees together, and either the heels can be alongside the bolster, or you can bring the heels right underneath the sit bones if that's an easy version for you today. We're going to try to stay in this particular seat while we work the arms. So I like these poses that give us like a two for one. So if you need to adjust the legs or give yourself a little bit more lift during the practice, please feel free. All right. So I'm going to show you the arms, taking the arms out in front. Left arm is going to come underneath. The eagle pose, okay? So wrap the arms around the best you can. We can grab onto our thumbs, that's great. You can use a strap if you can't. I'm going to draw the hands towards the nose, and then I want you to push the elbows away from you. So they're a little bit lifted, possibly. Okay, I'll lift mine a little so you can see some more. And try to relax the shoulders, relax the belly. This won't be a really long pose, of course, but let's take a few deep breaths into our upper back and see if we can feel the muscles along the upper back. We'll just imagine them like wings expanding out as we breathe. Being really mindful as we release this, I just like to put One hand over each shoulder like we're taking off a shirt, and just gently pull it off. Lift it up, and then release your arms to your sides. Just take a minute and rotate those wrists, shake out any tension you have there. If you need to adjust the legs, now would be a good time to do that before we go to the other side. Good. So if you're okay, let's go ahead and take the arms out in front. We'll bring the right arm underneath this time and wrap it around. So same pose, please, just other side. Nose, hands towards the nose, elbows forward and up a little bit. Beautiful. And breathing into the upper back. Again, maybe visualizing these muscles as wings as they expand with your breath. All right, let's release the same way. Deep breath. Unwind. Maybe shake out those arms, hands, and fingers. Beautiful. Work your way onto hands and knees. If you were sitting on a bolster, don't let it go too far away because we're going to use it in the next pose. So for this moment, let's just do a little bit of cat-cow, shall we? So hands and knees nice and balanced. And take a deep breath in, bringing that chest forward. Exhale, belly in, chin to chest. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears. So again, working with the breath, inhaling one breath, exhaling movement and breath together. All right. Let's come back to the center. I'm going to prop myself up a lot with this pose, so in case you need it, you'll see how we can use all kinds of props just to make ourselves comfortable. So we're going to do a right leg lunge. So we'll start with that right leg. And if you're really tight in the inner groin, what I'm going to ask you to do is put a bolster and even a blanket or a pillow so your left hip totally releases into something. So if you don't need all of this, you may just need a tiny little bit of support underneath. And I want the hands on the inside of the foot. Okay, so walk that foot out a ways because I want you to get some really good stretch here. Now, you can even, if those of you who are really tight, maybe place your hands on blocks. You can do one hand or both hands on blocks. This may help you as well. So let's stay lifted for the first minute. And I don't mean really lifted, really tall, but maybe pretty level. Okay. And make sure that this front foot is feeling comfortable, maybe knee right over the ankle. You can't see it a whole lot, but that's where it is right now. I'm letting my left hip relax and feel that support underneath it. So I will give you another cue in about a minute and a half or so if you wanted to go deeper. So just breathe into this left side of the body. Maybe the left leg comes back a little bit. Maybe the left hip relaxes down. And you could be feeling this in the right thigh as well. If you are, that's perfectly fine. So don't let your head hang for this one. Let's draw that throat back and keep the cervical spine in line with the rest of the spine. And then one more thing for this last minute. Try not to let the shoulders come up towards the ears, but really draw them back and use the support of the shoulders for this upper body. So if you think your body is okay to go deeper, maybe we bring our elbows down to the block or down to the mat. You decide. You can also turn this right foot out a little ways if it feels like you want to, kind of out to the side. Or stay where you are. We're still breathing into the tightest spots in our body. There's probably quite a few in this pose. No worries. Let's let your head hang a little bit. So tuck the chin in towards the chest or let your head rest on a block or bolster of the floor. So mindfully, as you release this, we'll just come back onto all fours, nice and slow, in case that was a really tight pose for you today. And then you may just want to take just a moment. We'll just do maybe 2 or 3 cat-cows just before the body has to move into the other side. I guess it was more than 2 or 3. All right. We'll adjust however we need to, and we'll take that left foot forward. So I'm going to pad my right hip and let that right side just relax down into your padding there. Maybe a block or 2 are underneath your hands. And remember, we're going to take the hands on the inside of the foot. So to start, you can see on this side that this knee is right over the ankle. And I'm lifted just a little bit, keeping my throat back and a little bit more on an even plane here. Yeah, beautiful. Let's relax the shoulders. Good. Let's breathe. Try to feel the stretch on this right side. Maybe your body's getting more comfortable. And if so, you can come down onto those forearms. And again, use a block or the earth, whatever works for you. I'm also going to take this left foot, just bring it out to the side a little bit. Much more comfortable for me on this side. Easier to relax. This is called the dragonfly in yin. Maybe that conjures up an image. Maybe not the image of the divine, but an image. And let's relax again the shoulders. And now we can maybe tuck the chin in towards the chest or let your head rest on something. Good. And breathe. And slowly finding your way out of this pose. I'm going to remove all of my props because child's pose is next, and I don't like to use props for child's pose, but you're always welcome if you need to put a bolster underneath you. But let's really spread the knees nice and wide. Bring the big toes together. And if you can, you'll sit back all the way to your heels. If you can't, you can do puppy pose with your butt up. And we'll take those arms, stretch them out in front of us. For yin, we do want the elbows to the mat. And we'd also like the head to the mat or a block, blanket, bolster. So you're welcome to have something underneath your belly if you feel like you need a little support. Go ahead and take that today. And feel like maybe there's a gentle weight on your low back. Maybe hips are a little wider and you're kind of sinking down into that space. I like to use sandbags when I had sandbags available in my classes. This was also a really good pose to put that 8-pound sandbag on your lower back to sink into it. So if you have that option, please use it. All right. This is probably where you're going to want to do the longest pose. We won't do this for a really long time, but let's relax a little bit here. All right. Even though that's probably your favorite pose, we're going to release that and we're going to come onto our backs. So I'm going to bring the blanket or a pillow underneath my head. Not necessary. You don't have to. Let's start off though, drawing knees in towards the chest and really wrap your arms around and give yourself a really nice hug. And if you would even want to add, you can maybe bring your forehead towards the knees, stretch the neck a little bit. Good. And then let the head relax back down. And we're just going to do a nice twist today. So just let the knees drop to the right. We'll start that direction. I can easily stack my knees, but if that's not able for you, you can put anything under between your knees so they stack nicely. And let's take this left arm and just stretch it out to the side. See if we can relax the shoulder to the earth. Palm up, okay? I'm going to use my right hand today to, right on top of my knees, just give a little bit of pressure so the knees come together just a little bit more. So maybe I can feel the stretch on my left hip. Get nice big breaths. Relax the shoulders, feel the stretch in that whole left side of the body. Gently bring yourself back to the center. Throw those knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice wrap there, hug. And when you're ready, we'll go to the other side. So the knees come down to the left. And if you're able, take that right arm out. Soften that right shoulder. Beautiful. Big long breaths through this right side of the body. We'll make ourselves nice and even before Shavasana, right? So really see if you can stretch that out, release anything that's still hanging around today. Maybe you don't need in the body. All right, so as you come back to the center, let's draw the knees in towards the chest for a moment and place your hands underneath the backs of those thighs there. And we'll just inhale, bring our legs straight up towards the ceiling. Stretch through the heels, stretch through the toes. Exhale, bend the knees. Just do that a couple of times. Inhale, straighten. I don't always like to end with a twist before Shavasana. I like to be able to get that pelvis back in alignment. Sometimes we twist too long and our SI joints just become a little inflamed. So we're just gently reminding everything where its place is. So as you move into your final relaxation today, I invite you to stretch along your mat. Maybe it's warm enough for you today to just hang out in this big letter X. But if you need a little blanket on your body to feel grounded or warm, please take it. Maybe you feel comfortable wrapping yourself up like a burrito. Whatever feels right and perfect for you this evening. Let's find our perfect final spot where our body feels connected to the earth, where we can feel the sense of gravity pulling us down and anchoring us, supporting us. Can you visualize the tension releasing? Face, jaw, throat. Feeling the shoulders heavy into the earth, the arms. Releasing anything from the hands and fingers. Stretch them out, let them go. Can you notice the beautiful spine today? You can actually feel the vertebra just stretching, releasing, letting go all those muscles around that spine. How's the belly and the hips today? Can you feel the legs flop open? The feet relaxed and comfortable, so you're not holding anything. And before you find complete silence in these final moments of practice, take just a few moments and check in with your breath. Can the breath become just a tad bit deeper this evening? Longer, softer, more relaxed. Then feel yourself surrendering into the earth. So if you're comfortable, you're welcome to stay right where you are. If you would like to finish the practice with us, please take a few moments. Draw the knees towards the chest and let's rest on our side. So the final niyama in yoga is called Ishvara Pranadhana. Surrender to God, surrender to the divine. When all is said and done, we let go. We let go absolutely. For the power of devotion sustains us as we meet the difficulties inherent on our path. If there's not a dance for joy in your yoga, a dance for joy in your life, you can put one there. The final niyama, this Ishvara Pranadhana, this devotion to our divine, is truly a dance for joy. It's an opportunity to practice reverence and experience the complete ecstasy of devotion. Please come up to join me if you're ready as we bring our hands to our heart. We will end with one more sound of Om. Deep breath in. Namaste.